More Robby Gordon stuff is about to go down. All right, so I have a 371-point advantage above Greg Biffle. We have just 2 races left before the chase for the Sprint Cup begins, with 23 wins in 24 races. I've got a lot of points, bonus points that are going to carry into the chase and give me a massive lead and start the 10-race stretch. Hard to believe there's only 12 races left, by the way, in this series, although I think it's going to end at a very opportune time. Because I know I keep saying, watch out for the other stuff I do. That's just kind of a covering so I don't look stupid if I start releasing stuff alongside this. But my current plan is to finish up this series and then work on the next show that I plan on doing, which I'm keeping on the down low because I think it's going to be kind of a big surprise. But yeah, we're running out of Robby Gordon editions, only 12 left, counting this one. Greg Biffle sets second in points, as I mentioned, 371 points back. That's insurmountable. Brad Keselowski third. Matt Kenseth got screwed over at Bristol by me because we had that epic race with no cautions, people jumping over us. We're stacking up in the last couple laps. A slide job, dump into the wall, and tag team against Dale Jr. by me and Marcos. Martin got up in the wrecks. He exploded. Marcos is up in the chase grid now. Travis is out for now. It's getting nuts, as if it wasn't to begin with. With 2 races left in the race for the chase, it's only going to get even nuttier, especially at a track like Atlanta. David Reagan sets in 27th position. And someone mentioned in the Bristol video in the comments that he only has 83 points he has to make up. But the challenge is he has to make that up in 2 races. If he surprises me, then God bless him, but I just don't have very much faith in him. Dead last, still Joe Nemechek by an awful lot of points, 48 right now. Today's video, we move on to Atlanta. We're 2 races before the chase. This is a very forgotten era in Atlanta Motor Speedway's history, having 1 date on the schedule, but it was in early September. But either way, Atlanta is one of my favorite racetracks from this era, as you know. The previous configuration was one of my absolute favorite racetracks. The fall-off is massive. In under 10 laps, your lap time drops off by 3 seconds a lap. And that's not exaggeration. That's just how severe it is in this game. Granted, Atlanta chewed the crap out of tires, but I don't know if it did that much.
We got to try and make sure the setup is exactly how you want it before qualifying. Get out on the track and see what you think.
Setup-wise, I'm just going to run the default stuff. I'm very comfortable with it.
There's some good times being set today, buddy. Make sure yours is one of them.
All right, so here we are at Atlanta on the super cool configuration of this racetrack. 24 degrees of banking. You can run all the way from the bottom up to the top. I favor the top, personally. But for this qualifying run, I'm not 100% sure what to expect because the tires are going to have some good stickum. So we might be able to run semi-full throttle for most of the lap. I can go try it at 3 and 4. And I do not have to lift yet. Although the next lap I probably will have to burp it a little bit because of how just major the fall-off is. But here we go. 1 lap chance. Second lap, there's going to be nothing left in these tires. Touching the wall. I think that actually helped me. It knocked just enough speed out of the car to where I didn't destroy the wall off of 2. Still hit it, but didn't destroy it. There we go. 3 and 4, though. That's hauling. Stewart put up a great lap, though. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat that, especially with all my screw-ups. Yeah, not pole. 13th, though.
Let's see what you can do here.
Yeah, 1 and 2, there's just nothing happening. Once again, I suck at qualifying.
That's fine, man. That's a good slot. We just got to get a little bit faster.
Got the cone.
Top 20 gives us a good chance to make up ground on race day quickly.
All right, so this time Travis did not out-qualify me. That's at least a good sign. So Tony Stewart on pole. Brad Keselowski completes the front row. I like having Marcos up here. 8th position. Matt Kenseth qualifies 10th. He's got to score some points back. Second place point man Biffle in 5th position. David Reagan down 27th. Qualifies in the exact spot he is in points. Dead last, Josh Wise, and right in front of him, Joe Nemechek.
Good luck, pal. Give us a great show.
Welcome to Hampton, Georgia, and our coverage of the Advocare 500. Alongside Darrell Waltrip, I'm Mike Joy.
Mike, I love this racetrack. It is so fast. When you head off in the first turn here, you're wide open. You go down in the corner. It's like riding a roller coaster. This joint is fast, and it will get your attention.
Bobby Labonte has 6 wins here, Darrell, and Jeff Gordon 5. Who do you like today?
I like Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson is who I'm going to put my money on. He's got a 10th place average finish here. Jimmy Johnson's the man.
Atlanta's long been one of NASCAR's fastest and most competitive speedways. Will today's winner be right down around the white line in the corners, or will he be up in the Harry Gant groove, almost scraping the outside wall?
I really love this old configuration of the racetrack. And I know these wins in this game come really easy, but if there's any track that would suck to lose at, it'd be this one.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls! All right, buddy, this is a big day. Time to shine. Drive hard, but don't be too aggressive. 10-4.
Taking it up the middle.
High side.
Because I thought for a second the bottom line would check up, so that's why I wanted the middle, but it didn't check up nearly as much as I thought, so it kind of stayed even. Now I'm taking the Harry Gant groove.
Keep high. Got your door on the bottom.
Wow, look at Matt slide that thing out.
Car approaching low. Yellow flag.
I caused an explosion. I didn't wreck it. See, I wasn't expecting Casey Kane to just step on the brakes coming off the corner. Excuse me for destroying him in the field, and Travis, unfortunately. But I did not see that coming. Through all that crap, I passed one car. So that kicked Travis all the way back to 41st. I didn't really want that to happen, but that was an involuntary big one I just caused there. Why would you ever step on the brakes coming off turn 4? You keep that speed up by momentum off the corner. You don't just drive in deep and then stall out on the exit. All right, so Stewart and KFB is your front row. And we gotta not screw up this one. I guess I should just not run behind anybody. I gotta make sure to have just clean air on the front end the whole time, because otherwise I'll screw up either myself or somebody else or both. Like, a lot of the time you might think like I'm wrecking people on purpose. It may look that way, but I'm having and this has been a theme throughout the whole series, I have a very hard time predicting what these AIs are thinking is the right thing to do. Like, Mark's probably going to stop in front of me. Yes, he did. And so did the rest of the field. But you see, now I know the trick. I honestly wasn't expecting Dennis to stop in front of me, but you see, the first time they'll always catch you out at least. I can say that. And now the bottom line's backing up. Kenseth just got walled. I don't know who just put up the middle. That was Mark. And not me, but the one that ends in Martin. 4 wide. 4 wide. I got way too loose there. And did not even know that Kenseth was shoving it in there. We just wrecked everybody again. We just wrecked everyone twice. But yeah, the car was already starting to feel that major tire fall off. Whoa! Scott speed. Okay, that was admittedly cool. I think he just pulled off a wheelie. The car started to do some dancing in the corner because the fall off is just hilarious at this track in this game. I went from being full throttle to like wrecking loose. And combine that with the fact that I didn't even know Kenseth was on my very, very inside. We tried to shove 4 cars into a 3-car hole. Okay, so it's a Stewart Biffle front row. Marcos has made his way up to 7th. I'm going to restart 42nd, back with Travis and Joe Nemechek, exactly where I guess I want to be.
Just like we practiced.
And also Casey Kane's back here with us, so he hasn't gone anywhere either since I tried to ram my way through him. All right, this time, because I've got a tire advantage, I actually am going to take it up the middle, because the bottom line's going to bog down, outside line's going to try to hit the wall,
3 wide, you're in the middle.
and then
Okay, let's go
that lane tried to close up, and I've made it up to at least 30th, and I haven't fully wrecked yet.
Coming on the high side. Good job. Really good.
That was a bump and run. I don't know where McMurray's going. He just stepped right on the brakes.
Clear high.
Oh, Dennis.
2 seconds ahead.
You see how major the fall off is? What would we make it? 5 laps and maybe 3 green?
Inside.
And I already have just a massive tire advantage from pitting on lap 5. See, look at this. That's how big the fall off is. I was just barely making pace with them, maybe a little slower.
Nice pass.
And now I look like Superman
Top 5.
setting the fastest lap. And it is lap 8. Okay, you saw that. I'm not just hallucinating this.
Right there.
I just went to the lead, passing Stewart like he was chained to a tree. Somebody's on pit road, though. I guess they got the gist of, you put on tires 5 laps into a run and you're like 3 seconds faster than the entire field. By the way, major fastest lap here. Bam.
Nice lap. Good job. Really good.
And now we get to see the entire handling condition of the car tank in less than 5 laps. Because at least the kind of cool thing about it is the fall off is so massive that when your car cliffs, so is everybody else's. In this case, everybody else has already cliffed because they haven't pitted. So me coming down pit road on lap 5 is actually a massive advantage. And there's the first AI caused wreck. See, I'm not the only idiot in this field. Anybody can be an idiot, remember that, as long as you try hard enough. Casey Kane starts slowing down right in front of Travis Kvapil. Is his car cutting out or something? I mean, that's how I wrecked him earlier, is he just jumped on the brakes coming off the corner, and now he's jumping on the brakes coming into the corner. No one can predict that crap. Believe it or not, I'm pitting. That was so fun, I want to do it again. Now this time we got some takers, so some people are starting to catch on to the fact that every single time the yellow flies, you're probably going to want 4 tires. All right, so this time I'm going to restart in 28th, which means I'm going to have an even bigger tire advantage because the top 27 still haven't pitted. David Reagan, by the way, setting 12th. That's super cool. Casey Kane got the wave around, and this restart is going to be pretty stupid. A lot of cars who are going to be super duper fast. A lot of cars that are going to suck bad because of the, 16 times tire wear that this game has at Atlanta. All right, car in front's headed to the pit, huh?
Okay, let's go. We gotta step it up.
That's very smart, as the game I thought just crashed, but it didn't.
Easy. Just keep doing what you've been doing.
As you can see,
Clear low.
the tire advantage may have a bit of an impact
3 wide.
on the way the racing goes
The leader's a second ahead.
here at Atlanta,
Nicely done, man.
because in 1 lap, I have gone from 28th to pretty much the lead.
Stay on the
There's the
bottom.
lead now.
Clear on
Took
the
me about
outside.
1.2 laps. That is how much tires matter, and I got to make sure not to wall it. But the rest of the field's got to toil in the mud while I'm out here in smooth sailing. Somebody has stopped on the backstretch. I don't know who that is. I don't know what their agenda is, but I'm the fastest man in Atlanta. I swear the fall off of this place is like so major that it surprises you every corner, like how much worse the car has got. Because 1 lap ago, I was full throttle throughout both ends of the track, and now, like, let's just have a look at how full throttle I have to be, okay? Braking, back to the throttle, can't commit fully because the rear end's snapping, gotta lift more because there's the wall. It's been 2 laps since I was full throttle around the whole track. And you can tell everybody else is in the same boat, or worse, because I'm still gapping Stewart, even though if you look at my lap thing, I am almost 2.5 seconds slower than my lap 2 laps ago.
Nice and smooth. You're way
By the
out
way,
in front.
somebody
Use
pitted.
that clean air.
And it wasn't the guy who stopped on the backstretch a couple laps ago either, so there's another one. Working that Harry Gant line, and also working the right rear tire. It's loose on the straightaway now,
5-0.
like
You can do
Richmond.
this.
All right, so I would say it's been about 5 laps since my fastest lap. I am now 2.7 seconds off that lap. Somebody also stopped coming off turn 2, almost stopped rather. So I don't know what's going on there, but this thing is wrecking loose now. I mean, it's not like I have a bad setup or anything. It's just the rubber itself is no longer there. By the way, here's a very rare thing in Atlanta in this game. We are going caution-free
Whatever you're doing, you just keep
for
doing
like
it.
8 laps at least. I don't know how long we're going to be able to get this stint. This is already like reaching records. Ooh, man. Nothing like drifting on the straightaway. I'm 3.4 seconds off in 8 laps. Gonna try the bottom, see how bad this thing tries to wreck under acceleration. Never mind, it actually just pushes. You can see, though, it's not like my tires are, like, melted or, really, really worn. It just does not take many laps at all to wear these things down to where, you're 3 or so seconds off a fresh set. That's why every caution, speaking of caution, there is one. Every time we get one, I'm going to put on tires. And this time, Kyle Busch decided to jump on the brakes, and Kevin Harvick also couldn't see him. That appears to be a theme of this racetrack. I'm pitting. All right, so it looks like we got a lot of takers. So we have a front row of Paul Menard, Josh Wise, and also Matt Kenseth didn't pit. So the top 3 cars are on some amount of old tires. I came off in 4th. All right, so this is going to be a really stupid restart for Menard, Wise, and Kenseth, because they're going to drop back super fast. We've already seen the proof of a tire advantage of this racetrack. It gives you 4 or so seconds a lap advantage. I got to try to go up the middle. Yep, there goes Kenseth, there goes Menard, and there goes Josh Wise. They managed to block both lines for me. How courteous. Look at that. Oh, this thing is wrapping. I absolutely love fresh tires. That thing just wrapped the bottom, no questions about it. 203. That is speed if I ever saw. Look at this speed. 29:31.
We can do this all day.
And now we get to experience the sadness of when all that grip goes away. Because it goes away in about 1 lap. Yep, none of that grip is still there. Absolutely none of it. And I can admit, Carl Edwards, I think, is actually faster than me when we're on the same tires.
Keep it going.
Nothing like grazing the wall. Harry Gantline takes that kind of commitment. All right, now that I've got this thing ripping the fence,
Doing great. Nice
I am
steady.
starting to gap
Play
second.
back.
It's been about, 3 or 4 laps on this run, and I can already feel the right rear slipping out. All right, so I've already got like a 3-second advantage of Carl Edwards. And as you can tell, it has not taken my best driving to get that kind of advantage. We got 2 cars in the pits, by the way, this time by. I wonder if those would be Josh Wise and Paul Menard. Another car in the pits, better be Matt Kenseth. It is not. That was Marcos. That is a very, very bad decision. By the way, that was Trevor Bayne and actually David Reagan in the pits. That's really bad for all of them because the AIs are probably going to wreck within the next couple laps and probably trap all of them in the back, if I had to take a guess. You know, I've already put like a 5-second advantage. Oh, we got a car stopped in Ford. You see that? On the mini-mat. They got back going. I have no idea what's been going on this race. Cars keep stopping, but then the only cautions they get is if somebody rams them. You gotta be so smooth back to the throttle not to wreck the thing at this place. I'm just lapping Kyle Busch very casually.
Low side's clear.
Still caught the wall, though. Wouldn't go without a little bit of something spectacular. By the way, David Reagan being on fresh tires is actually catching me really fast, so he might be able to unlap himself. I'm not going to hold him up any, because that would just be a waste of my time, and we all know Robby Gordon's history with wasting his time on lap cars. So Edwards and Johnson have been putting on a pretty good fight for second right now. It's been swapping back and forth numerous times. Another car in the pits.
Yep, caution's out.
There goes the caution, right about halfway, so that's pretty good. This time, it was Kyle Busch again. Cut up in front of David Stremme and just flat out wrecked himself. Backed it in there real nice. In reality, that would have been windshield deep. I'm getting fresh tires. I'm actually kind of proud of myself that over that whole run, I only damaged the car by 1%. Now, have yourself a look at this very blessed top 10. You got names like Dave Blaney, Travis Kvapil, Danica, David Rudiman. Pastrana's worked his way back up here.
All right, your door, down low, at your door.
All right, so let's see how big the tire advantage is this time. So they're going to bog down. There goes the inside line. Top line slides. And I am the leader.
Clear left.
That's about right. And we'll just let this thing super wrap the bottom. Love that feeling. And Brad's made his way up to second. Look at that field just become a wad back there. Trying to deal with all those guys on old rubber. Oh, man. I should not try to do the bottom. This car cannot do the bottom more than once. Okay? It can roll the bottom first time through 3 and 4 on fresh rubber. After that, top side it is. It's also another cool thing about having a bunch of cars on old rubber is it kind of spreads the field out for you, because these AIs are not exactly what you would call bright, and it takes them a couple laps to fully pass everybody who's 4 seconds off a lap. Biggest question is, why are the AIs so stupid as to stay out? Since they're always like 6 laps early on their pit strategy because of how conservative they are on fuel, why aren't they conservative on tires? Especially at a track where you need them. Man, you know, I pretty much wrecked myself right there for the most part without the caution, and I still gapped Keselowski, and I'm doing it again. Somebody battling Keselowski. I have no idea who the somebody is. Whoever made it through that wad of 9 cars on old tires. Brad was lucky enough to put the thing down on the bottom, and then the seas parted for him, but I do not have any idea who got through there second. But another car on pit road. I think that was Austin Dillon. Yep, gotta really work that thing coming off the corners. That was a pretty solid slap into the wall there. I thought I was going to do it again. We got another car pitting, actually multiple. That's 2 down that time. And I'm hoping it's just the people who stayed out on the last cycle. You know, I'm actually borderline to make it all the way to the finish on gas. You know, I'm about a lap and a half short right now, but over these next 20 or so laps, I think I could make that back. Yeah, a lot of cars on pit road that time. 4 cars. I don't know about that right rear, though. I mean, I'm wearing that thing out like it's going to be going in the next 5 laps. Ooh, check up. Somebody tried to get pit road, and the guy behind him did not get the memo. You see, it's 20 laps to go, and I have 19.8 laps of fuel left. And there's Carl Edwards. See, buddy, you stayed out. Look at how much it's gotten you. Slid right up into the leader. This Casey Kane jumping on the brakes again. How you doing?
Put it on the left.
This thing's getting loose now, I can tell you that. We're about 4 seconds off the pace every lap from the fastest lap.
Car on the bottom, 3 back.
Man, look at Casey Kane.
Clear left.
Like, when he is not on the brakes,
Nice
he's pretty
smooth
fast
your
on
way
fresh
out front.
tires.
Use that clean air.
See, look at that tire
Left side's
advantage.
clear.
Remarkable. Although I do have to admit that if I see Keselowski pit, maybe I should, because tire advantage is pretty darn huge. And I think the amount of time that I would spend being out here on old tires would be enough of a loss to where I might not win by just staying out. Even though I could make it on gas, I don't think the tires
He's right
would
on
be
you.
nearly fast enough to get the job done. Because as you can tell,
You're good high.
he's a lot faster. You see, what I've kind of been doing over these last couple laps is banking on a caution. But in a way, we might not even need one. That might be our caution. People hitting the wall randomly, myself included. So that's Carl, still sliding that thing out as much as he can.
Clear on the low side.
So Logano's just taking over second, and Truex and him are actually putting on a good fight for that spot, though.
Pushes out.
There's a
Back
caution,
out.
and there goes every facet of strategy that this race had, except for the fact that a bunch of people are now lapped down. What happened was David Reagan stepped on the brakes and Dave Blaney plowed into him, and so did David Stremme. This race is not very good for... They almost killed second right there, because that was Truex and Logano coming. But this race has not been very good for David Reagan's chase hopes. You know the drill. We're at Atlanta. Caution came out. I have to pit. Believe it or not, I come off pit road in second. Stenhouse actually only took right sides. I don't think that's a very good idea. We lapped an awful lot of cars. 28th place gets the lucky dog. Everybody else takes a wave around. So here we go. We get to learn how either smart or bad taking 2 tires is. I wasn't going to be the guinea pig to try that, but Stenhouse is. So we'll see if he stays competitive or drops off through 1 and 2.
Got a car behind. Car inside at your door.
Okay, he's still sliding, so
Car down low.
not as competitive as I'd want to personally be.
You are the leader
because he checked up the whole field for me. And we're wrapping that bottom. That's the lowest you'll see me go from this point forward. 2:03. I love every part about that. By the way, we're one lap after a restart. Somebody just pitted. That's some remarkable AI intelligence right there. Truex is staying with me because we're, on the same tires. 10 laps to go. And I almost shoved the car into the wall right there. Cool thing is, though, is that they're taking the bottom. And you cannot build any momentum down there. So as long as I keep this car up by the outside wall, I think they won't even be able to pass me. Unless I actually put it into the wall, but I just pull a little bit of a Reddick graze of the wall right there. Just a kiss. Just enough to keep the car pointed. No, that wasn't good.
Car 3 back.
That was not good. I saved it. And really, the gap's about the same as 3/10. Yeah, Martin just checked up off 4.
8 to go.
He dropped off about a 10th from that. Got through there pretty good. They got through there pretty bad. And almost a 1 second advantage now. I have to admit, though, Truex's run this stint has been the best pressure I've had this whole race. I don't know why Kyle Busch had to pit again. You notice on very, very fresh tires, the AIs are really able to keep up with me quite well. Truex may be better than me for about 2 laps, but once the tires start to colossally fall off, as they do at this place, I'm just way better than them. I mean, I guess it might have something to do with how the AIs are pretty stupid, so that once the car becomes hard to handle, I think their ability to make the thing fast begins to tank. Also, their commitment to the bottom is really hurting their lap times.
Not over yet.
You can hear me just work the throttle through 1 and 2. It's kind of amazing just how much this thing cliffs when it comes to tire wear. And you might be wondering why I even decided to play, NASCAR the Game 2013 as a series in general, when it's this broken and honestly easy, even though I didn't know it would be this easy coming in. It's because I really like the Eutechnics model for driving. It's fun feeling. Unlike, NASCAR Heat, which feels like driving a brick around in a field of Play-Doh, and then NASCAR 21 Ignition that feels like you might as well be watching paint dry. This at least gives you, some responsive control that's really fun. The only problem is there's no competition for it. Honestly, since Motorsports Games is just admitting the fact that they suck and updating the older games, screw it. Update NASCAR 15. 2022 update. Give it to me. This engine was honestly really fun. If the AIs were competitive, at least in this game, it would be epic. And the race is about to be official. There it is.
Come on, Victor Lane, buddy. This is it.
Really, really came close to that wall right there. That's closer than close. All right. And second to last race of the regular season is over. Another day at the office. We have won another.
Ooh, there you go. Yes,
Driving through the
you're
pace
the
car.
The best driver, the best
Ooh, we gonna
car.
wreck somebody?
Excellent job. All day long. Way to get it done, man.
Not quite. Yep, it really is just another day at the office at this point. Although of all tracks to win at, I am glad I at least got Atlanta. I mean, I've won at every track, but like I said earlier, if there's any track that would suck to lose at, it would be the old Atlanta, because this place was awesome.
You're the man.
I gotta do the backwards victory lap. And hopefully not pit while doing it. Look at how fast I was going to light up them tires. All right, the lap is complete. Overcorrect. Only took one. It only took one hit. I'd call that a successful day. Just another track and another race you can add to the Robby Gordon list. We're trying to have a victory tour before we go on to Foreman Stadium Super Trucks.
That was incredible. Victory lane suits you, buddy.
I win. My best lap was a 29:31, which is way better than anybody else's best lap. MTJ got second. Very fitting after we've ran into each other for almost every race throughout the summer. BK third, Jeff Gordon up in there, Kurt Busch doing good for FRM. For the most part, top 10 actually makes sense. Matt Kenseth starting to get those points back. Greg Biffle 11th, so not that bad. Man, Travis Pastrana got 34th. That is not good at all for his chase bid. Finally, by the way, David Reagan 40th, 3 laps down. I think that confirms he's not going to get a top 20. David Stremme dead last, so not Joe Nemechek. Joe actually got 25th. I don't know what's happening, but mass hysteria. All right, so we have one race to go before the chase for the Sprint Cup begins. We have 24 wins in 25 races, and the point gap is now 385. Greg Biffle still sets second, Brad Keselowski third. Matt Kenseth still fourth. Martin Truex Jr., though, picks up one more spot back to fifth. From there, Marcos drops down to 10th, and Travis Pastrana is still stuck in 14th after not doing very good at all at Atlanta. David Reagan actually fell down to 29th. So David Reagan, to actually make the top 20, would have to make up 109 points. That's not even mathematically possible. He cannot make the chase. That confirms it. Joe Nemechek's still dead last, though, even though he's starting to get, like, top 25 somehow. So anyway, that does it for today's edition of the Robby Gordon Season Mode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm going to finish out the last 11 races of this season. It's not going to be a multi-year thing, though. This is a one-year deal. Like I said, once you're done with, kicking the crap out of the Cup Series, you got to form the Stadium Super Trucks, live out your own vision. Sounds like something I'll be doing. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've got a Patreon set up as well. 11 more Robby Gordon Season Mode episodes coming, and a lot more content after this whole series is done.